Welcome to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial. I'm Gomati Sivasankaran. We are in the first class of Dhanya Lakshmi painting. This is one of the 8 paintings. That's a series of paintings that are doing in this large project. And thank you for choosing this particular subject right now to work with. The series of videos that are ensuing are going to be classes to show you how exactly this painting is coming up in a 40 by 50 centimeter canvas. Before we get into this very important first session, where we are going to plan and strategize on what exactly is this painting all about, I would like to remind you to go back to my basic session. That is a 2 hours length overall, 5 different classes that I have put, 4 to 5 different classes that I have put, totally 2 hour session on the very basics, bare basics needed to understand oil paintings and also to understand the materials to work with, doing the first layer or the wash on the canvas. So it will be very helpful for you to go over that and then come back to this. Then you are able to understand a little faster. Maybe you're also ready, prepared for the first layer on your canvas. Yeah. So in the basic session, what I had also covered was references. How do you choose multiple references and the kind of choices that I have made for this entire project. From those references, we are going to pick up 2 focus area pictures that are going to be today's concept, today's session class, and we will work on using those references and plan and strategize what exactly is going to turn around into this particular painting. Yep. So before we jump into the session, let's look at Dhanya Lakshmi is. I am going to do the screen share with you. So this is the picture of Dhanya Lakshmi. Yeah, Dhanya. The word Dhanya means food grains. So this particular goddess is the goddess of providing all the foods needed for the humans and also the animals around the globe. Yeah. So there are so many pictures and I have just chosen this picture. I did have, this is a large picture with the names and titles, but I just picked up the frame that is needed for us to work with, because this frame seems to have all the key elements that is needed to portray her. And you will be also noticing that I have the same picture turned it around into a black and white on the right hand side. Now, why do I do that? If you have already been into one of my painting series, you would have noticed that I insist on having the reference in black and white. That will help you gauge and understand tonalities from white to gray to black. There are so many ranges, yeah, which is creating the depth and dimension. And this is easier to understand with a black and white. And that's exactly why I insist on this. So this is the picture that we are going to paint. But also from the reference discussion, you would have guessed that it's not going to be a copy work. It's not going to be something of a hyper realism, but this is going to be the superstructure that we are going to use, but that's going to be another phase. It's not going to be the same phase. We talked about it in the reference in class in our basics, that this is going to be a series of diversity, celebrate diversity paintings, meaning we are going to use this traditional image as a reference, but also build in a new face here. Who's that face going to be? It's going to be a child, and this is the face of the child. So again, I have also taken the same face in the black and white mode, so we are able to do the gridding and get ready for our next level of work in the next class. So we have two pictures. One is the face detail and one is the overall superstructure. But will it impact the overall superstructure? Yes, because this is a picture of a woman, a fully grown woman, and you see the body adjustments, the way it's drawn, way the painting is made is just representative of a woman. But what we have is a small little girl, maybe 6 year old, 7 year old, I don't know, and I don't even know remember the country which this girl is from which this girl is. Um, so we'll have to adjust the hands and body in such a manner that she looks like this small little girl as well. So we will make sure that she looks like a small girl, and then she has all these features. Yeah. So we are going to adapt features. That's going to be a lot of interesting, challenging activities. Yeah. Creating diversity is always amazing challenge, and we can do this together. We are going to do this together. So that's exactly the base that we are going to build on. With all that, we are now going to do the next level of planning, which is to understand how are we going to use the superstructure reference and the face detail reference. Yeah. So for that, we are going to come back to this camera, which means I will have to stop the screen share and bring this about. Yes. So right here in front of me, what you see is yeah. What you see is this same picture that I have printed off in a sheet of paper for me to help grid and plan. Yes. And I have got the printout of the girl also with me along. Well, focus right now. So what I'm going to do is to first, I have already measured out when I bought it, I know the size of my canvas that I had already painted. So it says 500, 400 millimeters, meaning the 50 by 60, 50 by 40 centimeter canvas. And that's exactly what we are going to use for this painting. So the sides is going to be used on a vertical base. So for me, I will be interested in the 40 centimeter of the canvas. That I will call it my breadth, and the length is 50 centimeters. And I would like to have this picture aligned in a manner that it's proportional in a way. So this is a smaller picture. It's in printed in an A4 paper, so it's even smaller. But we are going to extrapolate this into the painting. So I want to plan this accordingly. And this is not a detail. This is a superstructure, meaning we are going to use the ideas in the same proportion possibly, but not copy. So for me, I just need the overall idea and I want it to be placed in according, spaces. And I'm looking at, for me, this number 12 rings a bell. So I'm just marking 3 centimeter gaps. 3 centimeter gaps for me to build this. So this is 3 centimeter gaps here. So that's going to give me 3, 3, and 3. Overall, it's 12 centimeters. This line is 12 centimeters. And I will call this as A and B and C and D. will find this work, this picture also available with the grids that I have done with my hand, also available in the reference section or in the description. Yes, and I'm looking at another number that is also helpful, and I would like to take some more space than what is there in this printout. Okay, this is 15. I like this number 15. Again, I can divide it by 3 centimeter blocks, isn't it? So I'm taking 15, but it's going way off this grid of the picture, but that's not a problem. I would like to use this space, for the lotus, finish off the lotus or something, and maybe do the lotus a little differently. Yeah, so I can use that, and I'm going to divide them into 3 centimeter difference, spacings. So that's good. There goes the 3, and there goes the 6, 9, 12, and then 15 is of course there. So I know this spacing. I'm going to do the same thing here. 12 all the way. Marking. All right. That is the 12. I think I might have made a slight. Yes, this is right. Okay. So right now I'm just looking at the 3, 3, 3. We are going to divide this into 3 by 3 grids, isn't it? So that's exactly what's happening here. Huh? Yes. So it's really hard for me to see, but I'm managing to do this with the blue pen deliberately so that it comes off when I'm scanning it and sharing it with you clearly. Yeah. There goes the horizontal spacing done. Let's call this, again, this is all 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 3 centimeters, 3 and 3. And I'm going to call them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, isn't it? So we have this row fixed. Let's do the column quickly. So this gridding is going to help me plan how exactly I would like the overall structure of this painting to look like. So this is exactly what I'm going to, think of. But, few things that I would like to adjust when I move on is that, maybe the flower, I would like it to be slightly smaller so that it finishes off in that space, within the space. Yeah, the mid portion is going to be the body. Otherwise, things are all fine. I don't see any bigger challenge. At this moment, I'm just checking the face, how much space it is taking. It is almost 1.5 centimeters. It's totally small here. 2 centimeters, 1.5. I would say 2 to 2 centimeter blocks. Yeah, I will just keep that in mind when I move on to this. So what I'm going to do is that when I start gridding my canvas, I will divide this 40 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. These are 4 blocks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, isn't it? So divide this length by 5. Then we get a 10 by 10, isn't it? A 10 by 10 centimeters. So this 3 by 3 block is going to be extrapolated into a 10 by 10. This is a basic level understanding that will help us plan things accordingly in our a picture, while we adapt the whole body and structure to the little girl's face. So that's one done. We only have to plan the face now. And I'm just looking at this. I want, it says, when I checked it, it's almost around 1.5. I want a 2 by 2 centimeter gridding as a detail level, because I see that it's almost, 9 centimeters in her face and her neck, totally coming to. So I think it will help for us to take totally of 10 centimeters and space this around and plan this around 10 by 10. And then we can, when we work on the detail into the body of the canvas, then we can build this structure there exactly. Yeah. All right, because things will change in the manner that she'll have a nice, beautiful tiara or a crown, and she'll have some beautiful, jewelry around her neck. Yeah, but then we will make sure that she looks the same. Yeah, um, at least the face. So I'm just looking at a mid portion here and eyeballing and choosing 0 to 10 and marking some uh, grid lines as the border lines to ward off or just eliminate the sides that I will not need to focus on. So this is the 10 centimeter length that we talked about. So I'm going to use this as a base. Yeah, this is a base to build. Okay, that's exactly where it is coming to an end. So I'm going to build a 2. This particular picture is not going to have any extrapolation like we are going to do a 3 by 3, making them bigger into a 10 by 10. This face is going to be the exact size that is printed here. So I just exactly marking 2 centimeter grids. 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. This will be A, B, C, D, and E. Yeah. And let me do the same thing here. 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Done. So I am doing the vertical lines. When you have multiple references like this, it is helpful for you to plan what you want to do. And especially where you want to create a balance between what you see in the pictures and what you really want to derive from. So you want to have your own space of creativity. Yeah. So you try to find a balance there. Yes. Just looking at the spots where the grids will have to go. Two. Then there is the 0. So I'm just going to mark these grids right away. I see them. The last, but not the least. So this is a 2 centimeter. Again, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes. And this is number 1 for us. 2, 3, 4, and 5. This numbering also, when I did, all this ABC and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to help in the process of our discussion when we say, okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do. When I say, let's work on C3, for example, then it means we are going to focus on her nose and maybe, the starting points of the eye. So that's how we are going to talk to each other to work with when you try to transport this feature, as much as possible. Of course, she will not look the exact same. We know that because we are not going to copy exactly. We are going to make few adjustments to her hair, and maybe put her on the tiara with the tiara earrings and so on. So and she's going to look slightly different, we know that, but then we want to capture this innocence, we want to capture this smile, we want to capture this diverse image to come through in this traditional picture. Yeah, so that is the key. Let's just summarize what we have done today. Today's session was the planning session, isn't it? Today's session was really about thinking wide into this restricted atmosphere of restricted thought process of painting something like this that's been done zillion number of times already by so many people. So this picture is so familiar for people in the Asian countries. This is so familiar. You will find something like this just anywhere. But what are we going to do with it? It's going to be slightly different, and we are going to use these techniques of grading, especially in the understanding of using grids to extrapolate. So 3 by 3 grids to extrapolate into a 10 by 10 centimeter canvas. That will be the superstructure of the painting, while taking the detail, that is a 10 by 10 centimeter block, will be that spacing detail which is going to exactly feature in the adapted area. So we are going to just eyeball and mark the section where exactly we want to have. Once we have done this grid, so there's going to be double gridding inside. That's just going to be a slightly more interesting session where we grid it doubly and we start with her face and start building the superstructure accordingly. That will be our next session. I look forward to having you in the next class, and I look forward to seeing these paintings through. Each of the painting is about some goodness, some kind of positivity, and we are just expanding this positivity even further by adapting a girl child's image and seeing her as this beauty, as this goddess of abundance, goddess of food grains, and bringing all this wealth to us. Yeah, we can see a child, we can see that innocence in any child. So that's exactly what we are going to do. I'm looking forward to having you around in the next class and seeing this through. Stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy. Let's meet in the next class. Bye bye.